Yo, it's your boy Shaun, and welcome to Supercars from the Hood. And today's episode 1, Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Fallen. That's Transformers. I don't even remember what I mean. Just go ahead and go with it. It's top 5 GT cars. That's right, a top 5 list. Because I couldn't be bothered to do a top 10, because I couldn't think of the top 10 cars that are GT cars. How about we just start the list? Starting today's list is the Maserati Gran Turismo. Now, the Maserati Gran Turismo is the least expensive car on the list. If you want to call $145,000 inexpensive, cool. But it's still $140,000. And it's also the only V8 on the list, which it still makes a 445 horsepower. But that's not the real issue with the Gran Turismo. The issue is the styling. The car is way out of date, and if I could find a newer car to put on the list over it, I would. But I didn't want to have this entry with more than one Ferrari or any other car like a Benz. So the Maserati made it to the list. Now, I suspect a new model will be coming soon, but I really wouldn't hold my breath. It's not a bad car, but it's out of date, and it needs to be replaced ASAP. Like ASAP Rocky, like today. Not tomorrow, today. But you can get a nice reasonable one for 35 grand used, an early model, and that's pretty cool. Next on the list is the Mercedes AMG S65 Coupe. Now, I know a lot of people will say, Shaun, a Mercedes S65 Coupe, why is it on the list? Isn't it in Gran Tourer? It's just a coupe. Well, the AMG S65 isn't just a coupe. It has a V12 that makes 621 horsepower with 738 pound-foot of torque, and it has one of the best interiors in the car industry today, and the ride quality is pretty damn good. Now, if that's not a Gran Tourer, I don't know what is. It checks all the boxes that makes it a Gran Tourer. Is it ride good? Yes. Is the interior plush and luxurious? Yes. Can you drive it without killing yourself? Probably. I don't know. I never driven one. But, a lot of people aren't too fond of the styling of the Mercedes AMG. They don't think it's aggressive enough, or they think it's too plain. But to me, it's a very handsome car. It doesn't look bad. It's not the best looking, and that's why it's at the position it is on the list. Because the styling isn't great, but it is good. Next on our list is the Bentley GT Speed. Now, I put the Bentley GT in the middle of the pack because it is basically in the middle of the pack. This car is the oldest car on the list. It is also the heaviest car on the list. And it's also one of the more expensive cars on the list, especially when you start getting into the super sports pack. And breaking news! While I was researching and getting ready to speak about this car, Bentley unveiled a brand new GT. Now, this is the car I want to put on the list, but I can't because I know nothing about it. The styling is more curvy. It looks like the front grille is wider, bigger. Looks like the car is sitting lower. It looks better. The interior is better. It is better than the last Bentley GT. But the last GT is what made it on this list. Next on the list, we have the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish S. Now, this Aston Martin is the most expensive car on the list at $330,000. It has 595 horsepower. My only issue with this car is the interior, not the interior design, but the infotainment center. It is atrocious. It looks like something that was out of the early 2000s. It needed had been replaced when the car was refreshed the first time. From what I understand, Aston Martin's gonna replace the Vanquish with a newer car that's gonna have a design on par with the new DB11. I don't know when that car is coming, and I don't know what it's gonna look like, but hopefully it will be more on par with the cars that are coming out today, and maybe it'll make the top to our next list. We'll have to wait and see. We have the final car on our list, my personal favorite car, my dream car, the Ferrari F12berlinetta. Now, I'm trying not to fanboy out while I'm writing this or reading this, but it's extremely hard. The F12 has 740 horsepower, which means it has that's right, and to me that's nuts. That's crazy. This car is almost daily drivable, only it's rear-wheel drive, and it has so much power. If it was four-wheel drive, it would be perfect. I love everything about this car, the design, the interior, the exterior. I would love to drive this car for this channel. I would love to review this car for this channel. But I might never ever be able to do that. I would like to be able to drive the TDF as well. And the A12 Superfast I know just came out and is replacing this car, which really makes me sad, but this is my favorite car, and that's why it's on this list. With that, and that's the end of our list. If you like what I'm doing, you want to see what I got planned for the channel, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.